I just kind of had her come around a few times and play with us, and it was just an instant sort of click. It's probably the easiest search I've ever had to find a musician. I mean,
so were there any contenders from the online search?
I looked at the stuff, and there were, but something about Nicole just said that this is the right person. It wasn't against anybody that I saw so much as it was just, it seemed obvious to me that it was Nicole's job.
Welcome to episode 61 of the Hipsters United podcast. My name is Chris, and joining me this week are Jason.
Hello.
Jill.
Hello.
And Andrew.
Hello.
It has been a long, long time since our last podcast. I apologize for that, but the good news is we are back to catch up on the news of the past month. We'll start out with the release of the first Teargarden EP, Songs for a Sailor. Jill, I know you picked up a copy, and I just got mine in the mail today, and my obelisk is in front of me right now, casting its spiritual gaze upon me as I record this podcast. But Jason or Andrew, did you guys end up getting copies of Songs for a Sailor, or are you holding out?
Yeah, I picked up mine, or I got mine in the mail last week, and we're running a control experiment where my obelisk is in the kitchen away from my computer, and Chris and Jill's have theirs by the computer. We're going to see, who has the better podcast tonight.
Well, we've already had some technical difficulties with Andrew, so I think clearly the Jill's and my obelisks are conspiring against Andrew, since this is the case.
What if I pick my nose with mine? It's kind of the right size.
You can't get rid of the spiritualism that easily. I take it none of you have sparkly fool's gold obelisks?
No, unfortunately.
Totally robbed.
I actually haven't heard of anyone who has one. Have you guys?
Nope.
Not that I've really been keeping a very strong lead on that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been paying attention to that so much as I've been wondering what the hell is wrong with Billy's hand. I mean, you guys see his hand.
What?
It's all red. I don't know. He needs to get that looked at.
Although, I don't know. He might not be able to afford getting it looked at, since Amazon went ahead and took another $3 off of my purchase price arbitrarily, even after I ordered it, guaranteeing me the lowest price ever.
Wow.
I don't know if that happened to you guys, but between the time that it was pre-ordered and the time that it was delivered, I got $3 reduction.
I ordered mine like 2 weeks before the release date, so mine had already probably gone down.
Yeah, I didn't actually pre-order at all. I took my chances that there would be copies left, and I was lucky in that there was.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they just can't give obelisks away.
I'm sure you just got in under the wire, I'm sure.
What band do you guys run a blog for? I actually think that the packaging is really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice little case.
I was telling Jason last week sometime that I've seen a couple of other artists that are doing this wooden box silkscreen packaging thing. I went and saw the Stars, who are from Canada, this weekend, and they have a new limited edition EP thing that they're doing that sounds, it doesn't sound a lot like Teargarden, but it's similar in that it's a bunch of different EPs they're releasing, and they're doing the same silkscreened box wooden package thing. So maybe the Pumpkins are starting a new trend. Maybe this is going to go viral. The obelisk is going to go viral.
I'm sure it started with the Pumpkins.
Absolutely. That was, yes.
Yeah, wasn't the Stars one they gave you the album on 6 or 7 inches?
Mm-hmm.
The 12 songs, the album are on 6 or 7 2 songs.
But they're all different colors. They're all different colors of vinyl, Jason.
We'll sell you in a completely impractical large object to keep in your house. Please give me that.
But it looks nice on your shelf.
Yeah, because I've got a lot of empty shelves.
I want to upgrade my obelisk. Something larger, more substantial.
Jill needs a larger obelisk. Somebody get on that.
Folks!
No. Can we move right along, Chris? Please?
Let's do that. Anything else to say about Songs for a Sailor? Now that it's out, I'm hoping the next free song will be released soon. I figured that they were waiting for this to go on sale before they release song number 5, but it's been a few weeks now.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that there wasn't much more to do about the actual album release date. I don't know.
Yeah, it
It's
just
sort
kind of
a
came and
non-issue.
went.
But,
Well, a bunch of people got them early, people that went to the Record Store Day concert.
yeah,
Chris,
I guess
a
we're
little bit-
batting 0 for 4 on the I bought it at an indie record shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's only been
We're
2
corporate
weeks now.
sellouts. Well,
Let's not exaggerate how long it's been. Be like everyone else.
It just seems like an eternity.
That's right.
Well, a couple of months ago, Billy Corgan announced a new global search for a replacement bassist and keyboardist, and using this method to find a drummer landed Mike Byrne from the wilds of YouTube, but this time Billy went the more traditional route and chose a bass player he had previous, albeit brief, experience with, Nicole Fiorentino, recently with Veruca Salt. Jason, some commenters on Hipsters United were upset that Billy seemed to not give everyone who applied for the bassist position a fair shot at winning the gig. There were some talk that he didn't watch all of the YouTube videos and that the YouTubers didn't have a chance. Do you think he was obligated to run a full tryout like he did for the drummer position once he made that announcement?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let you answer it, Chris.
You're gonna let me answer it, huh?
Yep.
I personally don't. I mean, as a fan of the band, which in essence all of us, that's all we really are, all I care about is that everyone performing or recording with the Smashing Pumpkins is committed to making top quality music and knows what they're doing in the studio and on the stage. I don't care if Billy finds them on a street corner. I don't care if he finds them on YouTube. It does not matter. I just care that they get along with everybody and that they're good musicians. I mean, this kind of thing happens pretty frequently, I think, in the corporate world. Companies will advertise positions publicly that they've either filled internally or are planning to fill, possibly with an internal candidate. So
note to all those participating in the search for the new Smashing Pumpkins bassist, the position has been filled internally. That's the worst bummer ever.
There was just a legal obligation. You had to put a job application out there.
It's like government positions.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like that had to be done if he already knew which direction he was going. So do you think he already knew which direction he was going, Chris? Or?
I don't think he did at the time. I mean, I think he put that out there in good faith. I don't think he had absolutely chosen her. I mean, we played the clip at the beginning of the podcast where he said that once he played with her, it was pretty clear that she was the person for the band. But I think that if he had known that already, he wouldn't have put that out there, that there was this global search. I mean, how does that benefit him to get a bunch of people to post YouTube videos of themselves playing bass?
Yeah, I mean, this is a wild guess. I don't really know, but my guess is it's just kind of a simultaneous deal. He puts out the ad, and he also reaches out to her and maybe someone else too. Who knows?
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I'm guessing along with putting the ad out, he probably had some people in mind that he definitely wanted to listen to.
yeah.
I think the same thing probably happened with the drummer position, and we just didn't hear about it.
You don't think John Dolmayan or Mayan of System of a Down sent in a YouTube clip?
Somehow, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
And
I
yet
also
all
think
fans
they're-
were like, yeah, get the guy from System of a Down at the time.
I also think he was kind of in a time crunch as well. If these shows are coming up, and typically they take several weeks to rehearse for shows anyway, so kind of had to get it done.
Well, I think it's kind of strange that, I mean, part of, when Mike Byrne got hired, there was a small contingency of people that were like, oh, he just picked some kid off the internet. Why didn't he get a real musician? The reason he didn't get a real musician is he wanted a yes man who will go along with exactly what he says and won't challenge him on anything. So now he's gone and hired someone who has experience. I mean, she doesn't have a lot of experience, but she's been in a fairly big name band, Veruca Salt. So now people are saying, oh, why didn't he pick an amateur that he found on YouTube?
Yeah.
Damned if you do, and damned if you don't.
And it's the exact same people saying both things.
Oh, I'm sure it's not, but I just read about it in the same place, and sometimes the commenters kind of mush together in my mind.
Yeah. Hey, you're just like Billy, the fans all mush together.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
We're all the same.
They loved me after Melancholy, then they hated me after Adore.
But I hear she's totally hot.
Yeah, based on I love how there's this one or two pictures people look at and they're like, oh my god.
She's
They're really
really
grainy
hot.
pictures too. Like none of the pictures are even high quality.
It's a female woman.
The position has been filled internally by a hot babe. It's like, have you guys heard about this woman at Citibank? Have you heard about this story? Where this woman is alleging that she was fired from her job because she was too hot.
No.
Oh, please. Chris, I'll send you the link. You can link to it in the post. It's amazing.
Okay.
She was distracting because she's so hot.
So is that going to court? Like, is there a jury that has to determine whether that's feasible or not?
Actually, I was reading some like ridiculous legal analysis of it that apparently old coworkers had been previously interviewed upon her departure, and they were actually quoted as saying that she was so beautiful it was distracting. So the legal analysis was basically saying they might have a case against her. This might be a frivolous lawsuit. Anyway.
That was kind of the other story when Nicole got announced was, it's yet another chick bassist.
Yeah, you had to fill the female requirement, yeah. How predictable and obvious.
So do you think it's just coincidence? Or do you think Billy is going out there and looking for female bassists?
Well, what does that make Mark Tulin?
He was never really a part of the band, though.
We had the wrong chromosomes.
By the way, I think this is correct, but it may be wrong. So who are the two male bassists to have played at a Smashing Pumpkins concert? Like, for the whole show, I don't mean like as a guest.
It's a pretty good trivia question.
That's a good trivia.
Well, one of them is Mark Tulin.
I'm not even sure that this is a valid question or that the answer is correct, but it seems like it's right to me.
Is it one of the Flemings?
Yeah, my guess is going to be one of the frogs.
It's Billy Corgan.
Oh, that's right. In the early show, Billy played bass.
Shows Billy played bass.
That's right.
Woo! Got you good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Trick question.
Clearly, we are not qualified to be on this podcast.
I will be doing
Jason.
the rest of the show by myself.
Man, even Maureen Dowd did an op-ed column about this hot chick from Citibank. Sorry, I'm a little distracted by this.
Then we'll have a separate podcast later where Jill talks about discriminatory lawsuits at Citibank. Oh, look, there's a link. Thanks, Jill.
No problem.
Well, the other big news of last week was that the long-rumored summer tour dates were finally announced. In a bit of deja vu from the August 2008 tour, the band is mostly avoiding major cities and hitting primarily Midwestern and Southeastern states. Once again, Billy has provided a purpose for this tour. That purpose is for fun, quote-unquote, as well as a sneak peek at what to expect song-wise, quote, a balance of classics, a few obscure ones, and new Teargarden material, unquote. But the news this time around that everyone is talking about is that after a few years of expressing a desire to find unique ways to give the hardcore fans a different concert experience, the plan is to somehow invite a select group of fans in for the soundcheck, during which the band will play all new unreleased songs. No word yet on how this lucky group will be chosen. As usual, fan reaction ranges from excitement to, why aren't they coming to my town? But let's talk about this tour for a little bit. First of all, Andrew, the band will once again not be coming anywhere near you.
Yeah.
Do they have some sort of vendetta against you personally?
I think so. They were disappointed that last year that I bought a ticket and I got real life events happen and I wasn't able to attend. So they said, well, we're not going to schedule. Once again, we're going to make you get on a plane, buy plane tickets, and cross your fingers that real life events don't happen.
Wait, you still haven't
Second
seen
time
the reformed band, have you?
And I still have not. My last Smashing Pumpkins concert was the Metro show in Chicago. Yes.
You're so old.
I know.
At that show, did you say, Billy, I'll never see you play a show without James?
That's right.
He's taken that to heart.
That's it. I'm out. That's
After
never
60 podcasts, the truth comes out. Andrew is a hardcore e-hop.
Taking him a long time to let go.
That's right.
This new band is invalid. It's not even a band.
But on a slightly more serious note,
Chris,
What?
I know I've
What?
seen the
What?
pumpkins, but come on, I'm like an entitled New Yorker. Why aren't they coming to my big city?
why aren't they coming to
They're
your big
coming
city?
to any big city. Why
They're
aren't they going
wimps.
anywhere that matters?
Well, that's what I was just going to ask. Why do you think they're going with an itinerary that is so similar to what they did in August of 2008 and avoiding
can't-
all the big cities as usual?
They can't handle the criticism. I mean,
Us small town
that wa-
folk will just enjoy ourselves without any sort of critique whatsoever.
well, I would say that August tour was clearly the best received tour they've done since getting back together. I'm not saying that's why they're doing it again. I think they just want
Are
to.
you saying that non-ironically?
I think they just want to have an excuse
I
to
don't
get
even
down
know
to Tampa
anymore.
and hang out with Billy Sr.
In jail? Or is he out?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Didn't he get
Harsh.
arrested again?
I think we
Yeah.
just lost our link on the homepage of Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There goes any chance we have to interview Billy Corgan on the podcast in the future.
Way to go,
That's
Joe.
such a good chance. We can't get Billy on the podcast. He's too busy being interviewed by Beat Week magazine, formerly iProng. For those of you who remember iProng, of course. I mean, who doesn't? One of the greatest web publications of all time.
I'm really happy that they're going on a tour that they're going to think is fun.
Didn't they say the same thing about the August 2008 tour?
Mm-hmm.
Why are there no casinos on this one?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No state fairs.
Why are,
The
why are
one
the
he gets
ticket
on was
prices
fucked up.
under $50?
Well,
I think Billy's saying that the big city shows aren't fun.
I mean, seriously speaking, and I don't know, take this for what it's worth. I've always had a lot more fun when I go see the Smashing Pumpkins in small towns. I think there's like a general joy to see them come through some of these little places, and it's super fun to go sort of support the local economy of these little towns. I mean, I know that that's sort of a proprietary way of looking at this, but
Wee little Charlotte, North Carolina.
yeah, come on. An entitled
Coming
New
to you
Yorker,
live
whatever.
from
It's
Brooklyn.
like, I'm gonna go put on my clam diggers or my overalls and go to some of these little podunk towns and go see this big Smashing Pumpkins band rock their faces off.
Sure to pack your straw hat. Yeah.
Yes.
Head down to Tampa.
I do think they get a better reaction. I think that for two relatively brand new band members, it's a little less pressure than trying to go to New York and have like the hipster snark drenched all over them. I think, if anything, I was thinking about this the other day, that it's got to be kind of crazy for Mike Byrne to think about going to this big, Louisville show. Louisville show.
Louisville.
I think I pronounced it wrong the first time. Louisville, and and play in front of like 30,000 people or whatever it's going to end up being. That's pretty high pressure. So to kind of take the pressure off for the rest of these shows and play smaller shows and more receptive venues, I think it's not a negative. I would love to see the Smashing Pumpkins do more small stuff like this.
I mean, I think you have a point. I mean, in Charleston, they're probably not all. They didn't all get the memo circulating in Brooklyn that you're the Pumpkins.
Yeah.
So, like, be excited and enjoy the concert and that sort of thing. Which, maybe the band would like that.
I thought it was kind of interesting that Billy claimed that this is some sort of long-standing Pumpkins tradition in that press release that they had on the official site. I mean, they did it before the 20th anniversary tour, but besides that, when was the last time they played an entire tour of club dates before doing a larger scale tour?
No, that's not what he said, though. I mean, he didn't say have a long-standing tradition of doing entire tours of club dates, did he?
He said they have a long-standing tradition of playing club shows to test out new material. I mean, yeah, they did the
that is true.
double door shows.
I dispute that.
A Rising tour.
That is true for every album.
Yeah, they did like one show. Before the Adore tour, they did one show.
Okay.
Before Machina, they did none. I mean, you could say they did the Arising tour, but that was all
they did that giant tour in like February of that year.
Yeah, Resume the Pose was like a bunch of really like record stores and stuff, and they played Metro twice in December before they went out on the Resume the Pose tour.
They did play Metro, that's right, but they went to Europe before they did the Resume the Pose tour.
Well, they still played Metro, Chris.
Yeah. I guess I don't see this as a pattern since they're actually doing a month-long tour.
You know, the only album they didn't do it before is Zeitgeist.
True.
So
but they had
they're going
the Dracula
back
costumes.
That's true.
They didn't want to spoil the costumes.
They were armed with the Count Jeffula.
So I've never been to the Grand Rex in Paris. Maybe it only holds like 500 people or something.
Man, I should have gone to that show.
Well, Sparks really flew there. Woo!
What do you guys think of this soundcheck idea? I mean, I think it's actually a pretty good refinement to Billy's previous idea where he said he was thinking of having separate shows in each city for hardcore fans since it doesn't have the logistics of any sort of special ticket sale. But, I mean, I do think that once again this does have the opportunity to anger a bunch of fans who don't get in. But how do you avoid that? There's always going to be the people who are angry they're not coming to their town or they can't afford the tickets or whatnot.
Everything they do angers some people, so that should just be disregarded, honestly. And thank goodness Billy does disregard it, because otherwise he'd be paralyzed and wouldn't do anything.
Right.
It seems like a pretty cool idea, like they're going to play the brand new songs. I mean,
I think they've always done this to some extent, but with a much smaller group of people in the know, so to speak. So for them to kind of take what they had been monetizing, which were the VIP tickets that they sold through the last tour, and just sort of extend it and open it into a yet-to-be-determined distribution method I think it's natural. I think it's something that Billy's probably wanted to do for a long time, but didn't really have the social networking ability to do so.
Now, they weren't playing music for the VIPs.
Soundcheck. I think we have lots of tapes of Soundcheck from
the last
attended. No, in the past. I'm talking like 1.0, yo.
I don't think we have... a lot of those are taped from outside. I don't think... okay, I'm just saying my view of this is...
I remember one in particular with a guy who snuck into a venue just by looking cool and trying to fit in with the crew.
Maybe that's the way people will get into this. They'll look cool.
Yeah, that's right.
There'll be a red velvet rope outside.
Gosh.
I don't know, Jill. I think this is actually... I'm sorry. I just feel this is totally new. I don't see when they've done anything like this, really.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that I'm not saying they've done this before open to the public. I'm just saying... Billy it seems like from the stories or, different things that I've heard that they've opened sound checks and small pre-show things to people, to friends, basically to friends of the band before. And I think that, if they're going to be doing sound checks and these little shows sort of to practice beforehand anyway, that Billy's probably just been looking for kind of a low pressure environment for people to be able to get in on that.
To me, it seems like a good way for Billy to be able to play more of the new songs and have the more experimental type environment like he had with the residency.
Yeah.
But yet not piss off people who, I paid $50 to come here tonight with my girlfriend and my Bluetooth. And, you're sitting here playing like shit I don't know,
Why is there a music stand on the stage?
Right. So, if he can...
Two a-holes, go to a Smashing Pumpkins concert.
If he can move all the brand new songs to this soundcheck set for the crazy people who've been waiting out there before the show, then it seems like a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually the problem he's had was when he plays either the more acoustic songs or the newer songs that people don't know is the people just start talking over him, and I have a feeling if you get invited in for a sound check, you probably won't be talking over the band, so it's a good way for him to kind of gauge interest without having to put it out there with the riffraff.
We're making all sorts of friends tonight. Come back and listen to episode 62 in a couple weeks.
And I think if people respond really well, I mean, maybe some of those songs will make it into the regular set.
Yeah.
And then they can get received poorly when they go to the regular set.
I didn't come here to hear Billy Corgan play new songs.
That's true.
I came here to hear him play the songs that I heard him play in 1994.
Yeah. I came here to hear Plush, not some new Stone Temple Pilots song. Do you think Mike Byrne is going to play Super Christ?
Ooh.
Or United States?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I'm not saying that he couldn't, I just don't think they're going
Yeah,
to.
you are. Yeah.
I am not, Mike. I'm sticking up
Your
for you.
reticence speaks volumes.
Podcast host Chris. Mike Byrne could not play United States. I'm making the post right now.
Okay. Good. Stick that on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll tweet it to Twitter, so he'll never know.
Go ahead, Jill. You're excited even though they're not coming to your hometown?
Yeah, I'm totally going to go check them out at some point.
You're supposed to be angry and bitter.
Well, how about, can I be happy that it's an excuse to leave work for a couple of days?
I didn't think you New Yorkers wanted to leave the city.
In the summertime? Hell yeah. So hot here. I can't.
That's why you should head to the southeast for the tour.
Yeah, but in the southeast they have big ass fans.
Oh, I love those big ass fans.
Great standing in line outside waiting for the get let in Tampa.
We're not talking about obese people who are appreciative of the band.
Literally, bigassfans.com.
That's right.
There was one at the Orange Peel. No, I mean, yeah, they're not coming to New York, but they're coming to Maryland, which is maybe 2.5 hours by bus. It's quick to get down there, so we have things like buses and public transportation here that I don't even have to have a car to be able to go get my Smashing Pumpkins fix.
Yeah, it's the Acela tour. There you go.
Oh, that's for rich people, yo. Gotta take the Chinatown bus. I'm scared for your life.
That's what real New Yorkers take, yeah.
Or these newfangled megabuses that have internet Wi-Fi, so I can tweet all the way down there.
You could live blog the bus ride.
That sounds awful.
Pulling off in Newark.
My neighbor won't stop fiddling with her iPad. Obviously on her way home from Columbia for the semester. Anyway.
This is the most socially antagonistic podcast. I tried to use my obelisk to ward her off.
Oh, if you guys knew some of the Chinatown bus stories I've had on my way to Smashing Pumpkin shows along the Eastern Seaboard, they're not even podcast appropriate. Let's just say that. The Zeitgeist album release in particular, I'll have to tell that story one time.
Well, in the press release announcing the tour dates, Billy made the statement, "I haven't been this comfortable in a band situation since about 1995. Musically, we seem to have wound our way back to a more kinetic, electric, and psychedelic sound that reminds me of SP and Gish Siamese era." Jason, do you think comments like this where Billy compares what he's doing now to Siamese Dream are kind of counterproductive?
I think they're marketing savvy.
Where's Jared?
I think, it kind of goes along the lines with, that band member who just left the band didn't contribute to anything you liked anyway. And also, the next batch of songs is the really good one.
Yeah.
That's right.
The songs we're playing at this tour are the B-level songs. I've got the
B-level.
A material in the bag.
Keep that in the pocket. Yep, gotta keep that powder dry.
Don't lose interest. The return to the glory of Siamese Dream is right around the corner.
It's just as funny because it always seems like he's kind of fighting against that.
Yeah, but you got to do both.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely good business. It's enthusiastic comments that get fans excited before a tour is definitely a good way to go.
Yeah, and also though, if that's all you ever say, then people tune you out. So half the time you're the progressive artiste, and half the time you're, I feel revived.
Clearly, I'm guessing that the band interplay is not like it was during the Siamese Dream era. At least I don't think he's implying that.
I hope not.
You don't think Mike is out trying to score heroin and?
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe the business changed him.
Chase.
And Carrie, look, his producer is still a drummer. So Carrie is threatening to replace. I'll play your tracks, Burn. You got to show up. And then Mike came in, and he ripped off the drum track to Astral Planes in one take. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Jeff and Nicole were nowhere to be found. Didn't matter. Billy could just play their parts.
And then we spent 20 hours mixing the album. And at the end, we were like, I guess that's it. Let's go home.
Are you guys done yet? This little charade.
Man,
I think that's really how it is.
Really is a hostile podcast. I think we're going to have to re-record after this. How should do the real podcast?
We haven't talked to each other in a podcast setting for a few weeks. We're not used to each other's biting sarcasm anymore.
The politesse of the internet has evaded us. This is just what you get for podcasting on a work night.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Take out all my anger.
At least you didn't pick a night when there's an NBA final game or anything like that. You picked the one decent night this week to do that.
I'm glad I could be accommodating.
Yeah.
Chris is like, yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to podcast it during the NBA Finals.
So I hesitate to ask, but should we do our wagering now, or should we wait until it's closer to tour time?
Ooh, are you talking about the fictional $100?
I am.
So it probably has to be a song that they did not play at Record Store.
At Record Store Day, that's right. So Tristessa, Seven Stars are out.
Bring the light.
Jill thinks
That's my $100. Bring the light.
I thought that the ground rules, though, were songs that have not been played since the Reformation.
Oh my gosh. Chris remembers all the rules. Are there songs?
Which version?
Okay, there probably are.
Well, they did just play Tristessa and Soot and Stars. Those are two that had not been played since the Reformation, so there's still clearly some out there. We know that Through the Eyes of Ruby is still out there.
I thought is Porcelina out there to be claimed?
No, that was played in Europe. Was it 2008? Spring of 2008.
Okay.
Everybody click through the discography. What songs has this band done?
What songs were on site? Yeah. Machina, I can't remember Machina at all right now.
Wonder if they'll do locally themed cover songs. Seems to be a kitschy thing they've done lately.
They did that last time they came to Columbus. It wasn't too well received.
Well, clearly they only do things that are well received.
That is Billy's MO.
How about Geek USA, Chris?
You think so?
No, I thought that one had been played. I was gonna.
No,
damn it.
It is not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Since he's comparing it to Siamese Dream.
It's almost like since Jimmy is gone, he'll want to do Geek USA.
It would be kind of ironic.
That's another one of those songs that people say Mike will never be able to do, and then he'll do it, just like they did with Tristessa at the Record Store Day.
Yeah, I would definitely have picked a Gish song if I wasn't already fairly certain they're going to play Tristessa.
I mean, Rhinoceros is a pretty obvious one.
Yeah.
I think I'd split my $100 between those two.
Anyone else?
XYU. They haven't played that since. right?
I don't think so. Yet another re-envisioning of XYU or standard album version?
Acoustic.
They've done that.
I'll go out on a limb with. Wait a minute, I have to make sure I'm picking a song that actually
Piano.
fits.
Piano XYU.
But
Piano XYU.
They don't have a keyboardist.
He's gonna bring out Mike Garson as a surprise guest.
Nicole plays the piano. I don't know if you know that.
No.
I'm kidding. I have no idea.
I think this is a tough call.
Oh shoot! I was gonna. Okay. So I'm gonna go all in on Snail.
Ooh, $100 on Snail.
Wow.
Come on, Billy.
It sounds like you're playing roulette.
Put it all on black.
Oh, I was going to say green. Put it all on green.
I was about to say Set the Rate of Jerry, but then I remember
They've done that one.
They did that a whole bunch of times. And
you know, now that he's got this almost all new band, though. I mean, pretty much everyone will be enthusiastic to play anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be any. I mean, unless it's an issue of I cannot play that song, but
they're all yes men anyway. They'll do whatever Billy says.
Do whatever Billy says. Yep.
Probably draw the line at Le Deux Machina. I really see that getting a lot of enthusiasm.
I won't do it, Billy. I won't. I hate that song.
They did soundcheck Cherry back during the residencies, but never played it. That is not my choice, though.
What is your choice, Chris? I want to know.
Mine is a hopeful choice. My choice is This Time.
You are a This Time fanboy.
I am. Better than Today, I believe I've said in the past.
This time, maybe you'll be right.
Isn't
that good? That was good. That was good. I really must be told that it was good.
I've seen them do that live, so that's no biggie for me.
Jill's not playing the game.
I'm still going with Bring the Light.
Oh.
Even if it doesn't follow the rules.
Jill's just playing by her own rules.
Jill's forfeiting the $100.
Believe in the rules.
I think in a previous podcast I predicted that we may never hear Baby again, but now that they're doing this sound check, I'm going to retract that statement. I think we will hear Baby again.
Orpheus Descending, they're going to pull that one out.
Anything that I want them to play, it will be substituted by Annie Dog.
Have they played Annie Dog since they
Yeah, they played it in Nashville.
When did I miss that one?
A couple of times, actually.
Thank you, SPFC. Wow, it's true. In fact, they played it exactly twice. All right, Jill, you unforfeited the $100 with your knowledge.
I want SPFC too. Come on. You can click links in a database.
Well, that was a good game.
Everyone else, feel free to contribute in the comments what your picks are. I'll award that fictional $100 after the tour starts. Or I guess after the tour ends. They may pull something out at the last minute. Although, I have a feeling it will be yet another tour where they
I have a feeling they'll pull out a lot of stops.
It is for fun, so you never know. It's not one of those serious tours.
Serious tours.
Save the seriousness for the big venues.
And the anger.
Yeah, because that's what the big crowds want to see.
Yeah.
Serious.
The James Eha jokes.
Really
Yep.
It's worked so well.
The berating of the audience.
What was that song you wrote called?
I think we need a whole podcast episode to revisit the Matthew Perpetua blog, just for fun.
The 2-year anniversary of the 20th anniversary tour.
Maybe he'll review this tour when they come to a city near him.
Maybe he'll review our podcast of his blog post of the. Never mind.
He'll just Tumblr it. At least he'll have seen them before if he goes to see them on this tour. But
they're not coming to New York.
At least he didn't write fan fiction about what would happen if the members of the band had a relationship.
Why did you even have to mention that?
He's way, way, way better than that. Trust me.
We need to develop like a best of list on the blog. Must not reading. That's going to be on there.
Oh, yeah, but that's like self-defeating though. That's a problem. You know, here are the worst things ever written about the Pumpkins. Link to them and read them. You know, it's like, that seems to be encouraging thing.
Well, thanks for joining us this week. Our closing song of the week is Jill's joking pick, XYU, from Providence, Rhode Island on March 2nd, 2000. Good night, everybody.
queens. She's had enough of mommies looking the other way. Look out. No one understood. No one understood. She hid her poetry under her pillow. No one understood. They thought she cried teenage tears. They thought she wept teenage tears. But little did they know that her scars were real. Yeah, she might like you better if they slept together. She might like you better if they slept together. She might like it all better if everybody slept together. And she hid those poems under her pillow. She hid those poems under her pillow. In the land of rhyme, there are crimes, real and imagined. Down we go. Down we go. Hello, can you go? Hello. No more, no more, we rock. No more, no more, no more, no more.
The Hipsters United podcast is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Smashing Pumpkins, Virgin Records, or Warner Brothers Reprise Records. All opinions offered by panelists or guests of the Hipsters United podcast are their own and do not represent the opinions of the Smashing Pumpkins. All audio during the show is licensed for non-profit use per the terms and conditions on the Live Music Archive at archive.org. Intro music is from the Machina 2 album released for free download on the internet by the Smashing Pumpkins in September of 2000.